Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a great day so far and welcome to today's video, which is going to be all about these upcoming Hourglass Ambient lighting edits for holiday 2023. I'm beside myself. I cannot wait. This is one of the most exciting launches of the year for me and for many of you guys. So let's jump into it and have a look at these palettes, shall we? So if you follow me over on Instagram, you will know that I posted the covers, the packaging of these palettes a few days ago when I received the sign up email from Hourglass. There was a link to sign up for early access for these palettes. They will be coming very, very soon. I don't know the exact date, hasn't been confirmed to me yet, but it won't be long. It will be, I would say, in under a week's time, these will be dropping, which is alarming because I've already seen advent calendars in the shops, okay? What is happening? It is only just September, guys. Calm down. But I got the sign up email and I hopped straight on and there was a picture of these 4 beautiful animals. These gorgeous palettes. They are always exciting to me, even though, like most of us, I've got 6 of them now, maybe more. I don't want to count, is what I'm saying. And last year, although we had 3 palettes, I think, didn't we? We had Tiger, Elephant and Butterfly. Was it 3? I think it was 3. I picked up 2 palettes last year. A lot of us were disappointed that there weren't more new shades in these palettes. Every year we're disappointed that they aren't more inclusive, that they don't run very, very deep. Last year the Tiger palette was the deepest that we've really seen from Hourglass, so there was some improvement there. And there also was a little bit of improvement in that palette specifically as far as the new shades. I think all of the shades other than the finishing powder in the Tiger palette were new, but when it came to Butterfly and Elephant, there were a lot of repeat shades. So when I saw that there were going to be 4 palettes this year, my hopes were sky high. We're going to have a huge amount of inclusivity. How could we not when there are 4 of them? And we're going to surely have a huge amount of new shades because that's the feedback that we've been ramming down Hourglass's throats for years now. And then it appears that Hourglass made a bit of a boo-boo, or at least Hourglass UK made a bit of a boo-boo, and they put the photos of the inside of these palettes up on the website a little too early. Someone hit that go button a few days too soon. So we do have the images and the confirmed shade names and details of 3 of the palettes. The Owl palette, I don't know what happened there. That didn't go up. There were no pictures of the inside of that. Again, as I'm speaking, maybe they've popped up since, but right now there are no images of the inside of the Owl palette. Now, that could mean one of a few things. This image that Hourglass was on Hourglass's UK website earlier as well, of just the 3 palettes together, makes me wonder whether the Owl palette isn't a full palette of its own, and maybe it is actually just an option to customize the exterior. Last year you could pick and choose, mix and match, that you wanted the inside of the Tiger palette but you wanted the Butterfly packaging. I wonder if that's going to be the same thing this year, and perhaps the Owl packaging is just an option for the packaging and it isn't a standalone palette itself. That would explain why it wasn't in this photo of, you know, all of the palettes together. That would make sense to me. Or maybe it just didn't get uploaded. I don't know. I don't have the details of the Owl palette. I'm really hoping, fingers crossed, it is an existing palette. It is going to be a standalone palette with all new shades, and it is going to be considerably deeper, because I think when you look at those 3 palettes, again, we've taken a little bit of a step back when it comes to the inclusivity. I don't see anything as rich and deep overall as the Tiger palette from last year, I don't think. So let's take a look at each of these palettes individually and see what shades are inside, see what we have, see what is a repeat, see what is brand new, and then I'll share my thoughts on what I plan to pick up and what I think is worth the money or not. So let's start off with the Jellyfish palette. Now this, I think for many people, was the most exciting as far as the packaging. It's obviously very, very pretty, very beautiful, lovely colours. What do we have inside? So in here, it's 50-50 repeat shades and new shades. We have 3 repeats and 3 brand new shades for the Jellyfish palette. We have Diffused Light. That is a permanent shade of the ambient lighting powder, but it is also a very, very commonly used shade in these palettes. I think it was in Butterfly of last year, but it's been in basically every one of these ambient lighting palettes since they began. We then have a brand new blush that is Rose Fusion. Hourglass do love a rose blush, so although it is a brand new shade for this palette, it is a shade, a colour that we have seen a lot from the brand, as well as in these palettes. They have a lot of rosy blushes. We then have the shade Opal Strobe Light, which is a brand new highlighter shade. We then have Lunar Bronze, which is a brand new bronzer for this palette. We then have Diffused Heat, which, as we know, is again a permanent existing shade and has been in these palettes before, but also is just a permanent standalone blush for the brand. And finally, we have Ethereal Light, which is a permanent shade of their ambient lighting powder and was also in the Butterfly palette last year. So we're 50-50. We've got a new blush, a new bronzer and a new highlighter, and then we've got a permanent existing blush and 2 permanent existing finishing powders. So this one I'm kind of on the fence because I do love the jellyfish packaging, and it does offer me 3 new products in there: a bronzer, a blush and a highlight. So it's one of each, which I like. I like that this is very complete as a palette. It has, you know, 2 finishing powders, a bronzer, 2 blushes to choose from and a highlighter. So it's a really comprehensive option, but I don't love that they have 2 shades of the finishing powder. I really don't use those very often. When I'm using these palettes, sometimes I throw it on just for the sake of it, but I don't typically use them. I have a million of these at this point. I don't need any more. So for me, this palette is personally a little disappointing. I would have liked to have kicked out one of the finishing powders and had an extra blush in there, a newer blush. I would have liked less repeats. So this one is kind of like, it's okay. I may pick it up because I do like the overall look of it. I do like that it's got a new bronzer and a new blush and a new highlight, but I think it is very similar to several of the palettes I've had previously. Sculpture, it feels quite similar to Butterfly from last year. It feels quite similar to Elephant from last year as the overall colour story. So do I need it? No. I may pick this up for review purposes to compare it, but I definitely don't need it. I think it's got too many repeats. 2 finishing powders is a negative for me, but I do love the packaging. This one I'm on the fence. It could have been better, could have been worse. Moving on to the Leopard palette. This is the Leopard, right? Confirm? It's a Leopard, I think. Or is it a cheetah? Someone tell me. I think it's a Leopard. What do you think? So here is the inside of what we're calling the Leopard palette. And this is the most overall disappointing one for me. To look at it there, it looks glorious and beautiful. And if the names weren't on there, I might have thought this is my favourite, this is the one I'm going to go for. But this palette has 5 re-promoted existing shades, which is so many. You're only getting 1 new shade in here, which is so disappointing. We have Dim Light, which has been done to death. It is in fact a dim product that we're seeing for the millionth time. It is almost in every one of these palettes going. It's also an existing shade of their finishing powder. So, you know, we've done Dim Light to death at this point. We then have Celestial Strobe Light, which is an existing re-promoted shade and was in Butterfly from last year. We have Mood Exposure Blush, which is again one that has been in lots of palettes and is a permanent existing blush that has been around for a very long time. I know it was in the Sculpture palette, but I'm sure it's been in others also. I think in the Ghost 4-pan from a few years ago. We then have Iridescent Rose, which was in the Tiger palette from last year. The one new shade in this palette is the Ethereal Flush Blush. And the thing is, this is the annoying thing because I love the look of this blush. Like, that blush is glorious. It looks so beautiful. It's a shade I've wanted from Hourglass for a long time, but I'm not going to buy a whole palette for that one product that I don't have. We then have Lustrous Bronze Light, which was in Elephant last year, a bronzer, re-promoted shade of bronzer. So this one for me is the most disappointing. 1 new shade. Come on, Hourglass, give us more. I would love that blush as a single. I don't think I can justify buying this whole palette for that one blush, but it It does look beautiful, doesn't it? And finally, we have the Snake palette. So for me, this is the most exciting palette of them all because this one has 5 new shades, 5 new products in there. It's also very comprehensive. You've got a finishing powder, you've got a highlight, you've got a bronzer, and you have 3 blushes. So this one appeals to me the most, not just because it's almost all new shades, but it is also very comprehensive. You've got options, choices for things, but you've got everything you need in there to do a full face. You can use these products on the eyes as well, and you can do, you know, your full eye and face cheek look. And everything is in there and everything is new. Hallelujah. The one product that is not new is Radiant Light, which is the finishing powder. And I think they can get away with re-promoted or existing shades of finishing powder because you don't need a whole load of different finishing powders for your oneself. Obviously, we like to see a range of finishing powders for different skin tones, but you know, if I have all different finishing powders, I'm not going to be able to use them all. So I don't mind there being a repeated finishing powder in the palettes, but I do want all new everything else. Okay. We then have a new blush, Coral Haze, a new highlighter, Infinite Strobe Light, a new blush, Sunbeam, another new blush, Mystic Flush. And luckily for me, this one looks close enough, I think, to the Ethereal Flush in the Leopard palette, that I think that might sort of scratch that itch for me so that I know that I don't need to buy that palette just for that blush. This one looks quite close. It's maybe not as bright, but it's, you know, it looks like a sort of corally blush. So this is going to tickle my pickle more. And then we have a brand new bronzer, Solar Bronze. So for me, this is the pick of all of the palettes, unless, who knows, maybe Owl is going to come along and it really does exist as a palette and it's going to be the best one. We can but hope and wish and pray. But right now, out of the 3 that have been revealed that we can see right now, this is it for me. This has everything I need. It has a choice of blushes. I would wear all 3 of those blushes, look glorious, right up my street, very beautiful. And, you know, a new highlighter, that's great. I don't mind, like I said, having an existing finishing powder. I don't really use them anyway. So for me, this is an absolute yes, 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 yes. This is going to be coming home with me 100%. I'm still thinking about the Jellyfish palette. If I was just buying for personal reasons for myself, I would just pick the Snake palette and that would be me. That's my favorite. That's the one I don't have everything in. That's the one I will get the most use out of, and it's the most value for money, given that I don't already own half of it. I think for review purposes, I will probably also pick up the Jellyfish palette so we can do comparisons and we can see, you know, them side by side and help you guys make your choices. But if I was just buying for myself, I didn't have a YouTube channel, I would just choose the Snake palette and I'd be happy with that. For me, the Leopard palette, unfortunately, I wish that blush was in the Jellyfish palette and then all of my dreams would come true, but that's really the only thing about that palette that's worth picking up to me because it has so many repeated shades. It's just not worth the money for that one new blush for me when I have, you know, a load of these palettes already. My advice is to have a look at these palettes, have a look at the ones that you already own, have a look at what is existing, what you already have in your collection, and plan so you don't panic buy all 3 and then realize you already had it. For me, the pick is absolutely Snake. It's giving you the most new products, the most value for money, and it's completely comprehensive. But of course, we're all different. Some people will love the fact that there are 2 finishing powders because that's your favorite product. So it all depends on what you value, what you want, what you are looking for. Please, please let me know which of these 3 palettes that we've seen so far is your favorite. What do you plan to pick up? Are you skipping on all of them because you have several of these palettes already and you don't need any more, or you're just not interested in them whatsoever and you don't get the hype? I know there are people who don't understand these palettes and think that they're just not worth the money. Please let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section down below. But I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I would love to see you in the next one. Otherwise, take care for now. Bye 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 bye.